Calling, guys. Talk to me nice.
Welcome back to Sports Tea. Welcome back to Sports Tea.
Talk to me nice.
Nice. Calling, guys. Talk to me nice. Calling, guys. Talk to me nice.
Talk to me nice.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Sports Tea. Happy Friday. How's everybody doing today? I hope everyone's doing well. The sun is out over here in California. The Warriors beat the Lakers last night. It was a pretty good game. Honestly, it was very entertaining. There were things I saw that I really liked. There were things I saw I really didn't like. The Warriors definitely, they were crafty. That's how I felt. When you take a look at the game, and we'll take a look. I'm not going to spend so much time on this game. I do have another stream that I'm going to go into after this, but I did want to talk about this game. Warriors versus the Lakers. It's a big deal. Usually LeBron is able to come in and beat the Warriors. He's been beating them. I can't remember the last time that the Lakers did not beat the Warriors when LeBron James played. I think there was a season that he took off like 40 games and he cherry picked playing the Warriors because he knew that he was going to be able to beat up on them. So usually LeBron, he's cracked the code. He knows that the Warriors they're a small team. So like I said, they're able to beat up on them. With Anthony Davis, they were able to really, do some damage to the Warriors. But now that they have Luka and the Warriors now have Jimmy Butler, it's a different ball game. It is a different story. They both bring different things and different injections to the team. Luka sort of reignited sort of the NBA and people watching the Lakers and wanting to show up for those games. Jimmy Butler has instantly made the Warriors a contender. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to break down this game briefly, and then we're going to move on. But let's just take a look at the team stats. As you can see, Steph Curry led all scorers on the floor. Him and LeBron James, they were battling it out. They were going back and forth. In the fourth quarter, there were some good things that we saw there. And just take a look. I mean, the Warriors and the Lakers, they played almost an identical game. The Lakers and the Warriors, they hit the same amount of field goals. Warriors only hit one more 3-point shot than the Lakers. But if you take a look, the Lakers shot more threes than the Warriors. There's a reason for that. The Warriors forced the Lakers to do that, especially in the first half. They had them taking more shots than they would have liked. They were not able to get into the paint. The Warriors also, there was a bit of a free throw differential. Warriors were at home. They had some home cooking. They got to the line more. They got to the line, 8 more times than the Lakers did. The Warriors also rebounded the ball better. So they got 46 rebounds to the Lakers 39. Rebounds wins games, guys. Free throws, making those free throws also help. The Lakers shot better from the free throw line than the Warriors did. Assists. Warriors assisted the ball better. They had 30 of them to the Lakers 23. They had an equal amount of steals. The Lakers had one more block. And the Warriors turned the ball over more. But the Lakers just couldn't capitalize off of those turnovers. They only scored 8 points off of those 13, whereas the Warriors scored 16 points off of the Lakers' 10 turnovers. So they turned the ball over less, but the Warriors did more with those turnovers. And of course, those turnovers came late in the game. So points in the paint, like I said, Lakers could not get in the paint the way that they wanted to. And the Warriors were able to defend better than the Lakers. So shout out to the Warriors. Kudos to them and the job that they did. We will jump into the box score. Let's just take a look at what the Lakers did as players. You had Rui Hachimura. He stepped up. He scored over 20 points. He was 50% from behind the arc. He only missed one free throw. And he was on the floor for 34 minutes. LeBron James played 40 minutes. He was very efficient from a shot perspective, 10 of 15. He made 5 threes in this game, took only 8 of them in comparison to how many he made, only missed one free throw. He had 5 total rebounds, assisted the ball well with 9. He did turn the ball over 4 times. And again, these things, turnovers really do matter, and it matters when they happen. So Jackson Hayes, he only scored 2 points. He's very athletic. I think that JJ Redick should have used him better and differently in this game. Luka Doncic played absolutely awful. He was the reason why they lost. Bottom line, Luka was the problem in this game. 6 of 17. He shot very poorly, literally 0% from three-point land, 100% from the free throw line. But again, defensively, he was a huge liability. Scored 19 points, but that, like, what we're looking at doesn't even tell the whole story. He was awful in this game. I know we only see one turnover, but he just couldn't make a shot. He was slow. He looked very fat in this game to me. I know that you guys are always saying I'm body shaming Luka, but he just didn't look good. Austin Reeves went off. 31 points. He was unstoppable from behind the arc. 9 3-pointers he made. He was just going off. He was on fire. 50% from the floor. Very good game for Austin Reeves, but they lost. Very good game for LeBron James, but they lost. And Luka Doncic was the reason. You take a look at their bench. The bench did nothing for them. Absolutely nothing. So to me, the Lakers relied heavily on their starters. They should not have had Luka Doncic on the floor for 38 minutes. He was having a bad game. JJ Redick needed to make some adjustments. He did not. So to me, the loss is on JJ Redick and Luka Doncic. They are the reason why they lost. You take a look at what the Golden State Warriors were able to do in this game. They killed it. Draymond Green, I mean, he's just not offensively. He delivers like damn near nothing. I mean, he got 11 rebounds. He turned the ball over 5 times. He's a horrible ball handler, in my opinion. He makes stupid mistakes on the floor. Jimmy Butler was quiet offensively, but yet he wasn't. He creates almost a diversion on the floor. The way that he causes, puts pressure on the defense, and the way he's able to defend. He is a two-way player who's come in and really had a stellar impact on the Warriors. So Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler, although you don't see it in the box score, they really did play well for the team. And Steph Curry was sensational, not so much so from behind the three-point line, but so much that when it mattered to his team, he made the buckets when he needed to. He hit three-point shots when they needed him most to hit three-point shots, which was, really incredible for their team. And their bench showed up. Jonathan Kuminga showed up. You had a really good performance from Pudinsky. I mean, he was at 28 points. The Lakers underestimated him, and he just kept hitting shot after shot, 8 3-point shots. You would think after the third one that he hit that the Lakers would decide to guard him, but the truth is that the Lakers have no defense. 2 out of the 5 people on their floor, matter of fact, 3 of their starters can't defend. LeBron James, Austin Reeves, and Luka Doncic. And out of those 3 defenders that I just named, the 40-year-old is the best one. LeBron James is a better defender than Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic. But all 3 of them can't defend, and that is what is going to be the Achilles heel for the Lakers. Luka Doncic is the biggest issue to me. He is just out of shape. He can't move. Steph Curry absolutely was cooking him left and right. The Warriors are just able to hunt Luka on defense, no problem. The way that Steph Curry hit him with the handles, it looks so elementary and simple, but he got completely cooked by these simple moves. Luka cannot defend, and he's going to hurt the Lakers in the postseason, big time. And I'm curious and almost excited to see what the narratives will be. But let's hear from JJ Redick. He had some things to say. He did comment on Luka's performance. Let's hear it.
JJ, after what seemed like a pretty good first 5-6 minutes in terms of shot quality, what did you see from kind of midway through the first through the rest of the half defensively, and how what your team was doing against it?
I thought our first shot defense was great throughout the first half. They had 7 offensive rebounds for 12 points in the second quarter. We couldn't score for 6.5 minutes, and I think not surprised that they switched everything. We expected that. Scored 69 points in the second half against the same defense. I think we just got a little stagnant and didn't want to move. And you got to move. You got to play with force. You got to get to the next thing. Just sometimes, and you have to ask the guys this. I think sometimes the expenditure of energy on one end, and you don't have it for the other end. I thought our guys were playing hard on defense in the first half, and then just the second opportunities, and that continued. During our comeback, there were a number of possessions where got to stop, but they ended up getting an offensive rebound and end up scoring on it, or there's a loose ball, they get the loose ball. Just there was a few plays there. The 88-80 to start the fourth, and we get two wide open threes, and maybe that's a momentum change. We just the big momentum changing sort of stretch we just couldn't muster, and a lot of that had to do with just the second opportunities.
JJ, Luka just 6 for 17 tonight, and then defensively it felt like they were targeting him a lot in pick and rolls, and even when you guys would maybe put him on someone else, they'd find a way to bring him into the action. What did you make of his night on both sides?
Wasn't his night.
JJ, in the first half when you guys weren't scoring, it seemed like a lot of that was missed threes, but it was like your shot profile seemed to change. Like I want to say like 8 and 9 foot twos, stuff like that. Like what were they doing on that? Was that anything?
It was not what they were doing. It was what we were doing. And we showed them at halftime the spacing alignments and having the wrong guy in the dunker spot, the wrong guy in the corner. We just was not. Again, the structure of what we were trying to do against Reds and what every team tries to do against Reds is create the proper spacing and create the proper next guy and create the proper guys in the corners. And we just didn't have that. And, you end up with turnovers and you end up with a bunch of non-rim twos.
Is that disappointing considering kind of the mentality that you'd kind of ask your team to have in terms of like, we need to play we need to build playoff mentality now, and that's focus and stuff.
Yeah, we're still building it. We're not there.
You mentioned weeks ago, don't remember how long ago, but you mentioned that before the trade in February, you guys were really good against switching. Then you guys went through maybe a little bit of a lull against it. Were you surprised by how much you guys struggled against their switching, at least early on, before you guys seemed to recover and had the second half you did have offensively?
Not surprised. I wouldn't say surprised.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Well, he wasn't surprised. JJ Redick is right. It wasn't so much what Golden State did. It was also what the Lakers did and what they were unable to do. And what he always fails to mention is that he has 3 starters that can't defend. So, it wasn't Luka's night, to say the least. And it's just the Lakers are up and down. And the Warriors, they've been 19-2 since, when Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler are together. I think that their team has completely turned a corner. Their team is the team I think that teams in the West Coast need to be, I wouldn't say afraid of per se, but that is going to be a matchup for teams that I don't think, even OKC, they don't have the experience. How are they going to deal with the Warriors in the postseason if they have to face them? But matchups are important, right? OKC, I think that they've proven that they are the best team in the West this season. I think that they should be the team that win the title. They should. It should be between them and Boston, or even the Cavaliers, right? Those should be the 3 teams that the NBA that is putting the NBA on watch, right? But the Warriors, they're coming, and there's been a lot of chatter about which trade has been more impactful. Is it the Luka trade or the Jimmy Butler trade? And obviously, no one's sitting here saying that Jimmy Butler obviously Luka Doncic is 25 years old. So for the long term, the Lakers probably, they should be in a good place, right? And Jimmy Butler, adding him to a Warriors team, it's more like a win now situation, right? But Brian Windhorst had a lot to say about it. They were chatting about this on Get Up. I thought it was a good question. I'm going to have us chat about it real quick, and then we're going to move on.
But they're the most visible ones, but there are others. But I'll give you a perfect example. But they're the most visible.
The question is, which trade will wind up being more impactful in this year's postseason? Which trade, Butler to the Warriors or Doncic to the Lakers, will be more impactful in this year's playoffs? Wendy, give me a little crystal ball here.
I think it's the Warriors. I look at the Warriors, to me, as the second best team in the West now. And look at how tightly packed these teams are. It's so hard to stand out. That's what this trade has done. And I'm going to be honest with you. If you're the Lakers, this was a great opportunity to distance yourself in the standings from the Warriors. I don't think you want the Warriors in the playoffs as much as we always want to see it. And the reason I say that is, in this game last night, from an X and O perspective, both teams kind of want to do the same thing. They want to play small. They want to switch. And the Warriors are just better at it and better equipped to do it because of their personnel and because of how they take advantage of Luka and how they can protect Steph.
Wait, he just said they're the second best team in the West, the biggest threat to OKC in the West. Jay Will, we buying that?
I said that yesterday on the show, Greeny. So I'm with Wendy on it. Yes, because I don't know about Denver's health, right? And that's going to factor into it. But I will say this about Luka Doncic and Jimmy Butler. In no world is Jimmy Butler's skill set offensively even close to Luka Doncic's. But Jimmy Butler's impact on winning because of his edge and the details in the trenches are nowhere close to Luka Doncic. Okay, and that's the type of impact that he brings for the Golden State Warriors, just not offensively and playmaking and making big shots from the mid-range and really being the contrast to Steph Curry, but also defensively. He's not a liability. He is a star when you need him in the biggest moments.
I guess, Alan, the most reasonable way to approach the question is, which team do we think is standing longer? Which team do we think goes deeper into these playoffs? It could be settled immediately if they wind up matching up in the first round. Which one would you predict?
Well, you would say the others is what I always look at because the stars are the stars, and the Warriors have the better others. The return of Kuminga to health was important. The emergence of Quentin Post, that he's very useful off the bench, big for them, who can do a lot of things. Buddy Hield, you saw Pajemski last night and what he can do. They have more reliable pieces, I think, when they call the others on that roster, and that's why I would pick the Warriors.
Green, he's called playoff Jimmy for a reason.
Yeah.
Like the real season for Jimmy Butler's coming up. I'm not saying he's been coasting in the regular season, but he's been picking his spots clearly.
And I guess we could circle it back then to the concern about Luka. I mean, Winman, I remember you and I talking at great length on this show, and you were everywhere talking about the Luka piece of this. And the one thing he has done, it seems to me, is after these performances, taken responsibility. He does seem to have some understanding when he doesn't hold up his end of the bargain on either end of the floor, which last night was a major problem on both sides. But how about that? Should there be a level of concern for this right now, Wendy?
He's not had a good year, okay? And a lot of it has been tied to the calf injuries that he's had. After we watched him lead the Mavericks to the finals this year, this guy was the far and away front runner to win the MVP award. We thought he was going to be having a coronation regular season. He didn't have it in Dallas. He hasn't had it so far with the Lakers. He will get a great opportunity in the postseason. But there is a pathway for the Lakers to have a really good opportunity here. If they could get in the 2 and 3, and Denver and Golden State were in the 4 or 5, and they would be on the opposite side of the bracket as both the Thunder, the Nuggets, and the Warriors, the hardest teams to face. That was there for them. And the win last night would have really made it possible. And then you open up the chance that you only have to win one insane series, and you have arguably maybe the best player. And that loss last night where Luka couldn't deliver that and was essentially a playoff game does make you think there's more there. There's more that Luka can give, and he knows it too.
Yikes. Yikes. Okay, well, as you can see, can Luka give more? I don't know. Looking like that, I just don't know how they are supposed to make a real deep playoff run with a player on their team that can't defend because he's fat, like he can't move. And even at the end of the game, when you see that play where he goes up with the ball and Draymond Green smacks the ball out of his hands, I mean, he just looked so slow. He looked lost, like he was suffering from brain fog. I don't know. It just seems like Luka is depressed. That's what it seems like to me. Some games he's happy, some games he's sad. I think he needs the sports psychologist or something. But anyway, guys, I agree with Windhorst. I think that the Warriors right now, they are in a better place than the Lakers as far as their ability to contend. I think that Jimmy Butler has made a larger impact on the Warriors team than Luka Doncic has. I mean, the Warriors went from looking like a G League team to a contender instantly. So salute to Jimmy Butler, salute to the Warriors and Golden State and everybody in the Bay Area that got to enjoy that win last night. And yeah, guys, there is another stream that's about to start. Feel free to leave me some comments about what you think. Luka or Jimmy, who was more impactful to their teams? Which trade had a bigger impact? Was it Luka Doncic going to the Lakers, or was it Jimmy Butler? Feel free to put that in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, share it on your social media. Let people know about Sports Tea, spread the word, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Thanks so much for hanging out with me and breaking down this game with me. There was a super sticker that came through. Thank you so much, Trevon Dash, for the $5 super sticker. Salute to you. And guys, I will see you in the next stream in a few minutes. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.